Hey, welcome to Tauke Talks. It's a series of sharing sessions where we feature small but mighty businesses to share about their motivation on why they started a business and their journey in entrepreneurship. My name is Cindy and I'll be your host today. So this sharing session is brought to you by RYSE, a program that equips young people with entrepreneurial skills and the knowledge to start small business. And RYSE is supported by Citi Foundation. So we believe that entrepreneurship is not only for the big company with high technology, but we also believe that entrepreneurship is for small and micro businesses such as May in December. During hard times like the MCO and also trying to navigate through the new norm in post MCO, we wanted to showcase stories of small local businesses that are persevering and also still chasing their dreams. So I'm happy to welcome our guest today, Shamay from May in December. Hi, welcome.
Hello, hi everyone.
So
Thanks for
welcome to Talkie
having
Talk.
me. Thank
We are
you.
honored to have you here today. So before we get to the main session, let me just run through the agenda with everybody. Okay, yeah. So the agenda. All right. So next we'll have our sharing session where I'll be asking Shami a few questions, and then we'll move on to our Q&A session where all we will answer all of the questions that you have already submitted or pre-submitted, and also we'll end off this entire session with a small promotion about Rise Online 2020, which is our Rise's new entrepreneurship program for this year, and also to share a little bit about our next Talk Talk session. Okay, without further ado, let's start. All right. So, Shamay, can you share a little bit more about your business? Like, tell us about your business, where to find you. Yeah.
Yes. Hello everyone. So yes, I'm Shamay, May for short. My business is called May in December, but you can also find me on Instagram. Is the handle is May in December Flowers. I have a website, mayindecember.com, and also my Facebook page, May in December Flowers. Yeah, and a little bit about my business. I'm based in Petaling Jaya, Bandar Utama to be exact. And May December is actually we just passed a 2-year mark, so we are two years old. And
Mm.
I am currently home based, and so I offer everyday flower arrangements, in whether it's in a bouquet or in jars, or vases for any occasion. And also I do have a floral subscription plans, so I do send out like weekly flowers to your homes. And on the side, I also do a bit of painting. So I also do specialize in like customizable hand painted calligraph cards that can be
Mm.
added onto the flowers. Yeah,
Mm.
that's basically my business in short.
So maybe can you tell us like where did you come up with the name May in December? Like what was the
Oh,
inspiration
okay.
behind the name?
Okay, sure. Okay, so a bit of a background. I mean, my name is May. Well, May is short for my name, May,
Mm.
and also I'm born in the month of December.
Mm.
So the name May December came up.
Mm.
But usually that's kind of like the short story version lah. But the long story to the name is that May represents springtime and
Mm.
December represents winter time. So if you guys check out my page or my website, right, I actually have different seasonal themes, so winter, spring, summer, and fall. So the idea is that I want to provide flowers for all seasons, because
Mm.
as just as flowers are seasonal, so is our life. Like we go through many seasons through life, and actually, so
Mm.
that's actually the real story behind the name, that I want to, yeah, provide flowers for all seasons, like from winter through to spring. So
Mm.
that that's that's how May December was born.
Wow, that's actually a very deep.
How May December was born.
Wow, that's actually a very deep like
Yeah, I know. So
backstory about
I
your
know.
whole
So
name.
normally when people ask me, I would say the short version. Like, I mean, it is also
Uh,
true. My birthday is really in December, so just so
mm,
now, I mean, so happened it's like May and December and like winter and spring, and then that's how I came up with like yeah, just like different seasons and like for all occasions. Yeah.
mm. Okay, now we know where the name come from. Can you tell us a bit about like you personally, your background as a business owner? Did you always know that you wanted to open to be a florist, or did you study
Mm,
business to start your own
mm.
business, or was it just like something out of like a coincidence and you're like, okay, I'm gonna do flowers, you know?
Flowers.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Thanks for the question. Okay, so again, a bit about myself. Actually, I come from a nursing background. So before this, I'm actually a nurse and I was working in Singapore for 7 years before returning home to Malaysia. But
Mm,
rewind like many years before that, growing
mm,
up, I've always had an inkling or liking towards flowers. I think also because so my dad, right, he always gives my mom flowers on her birthday and anniversary. So I grow up,
wow.
I mean, I don't receive them, but I grew up feeling like we always have flowers in our house at least twice a year. It's
Mm,
either in a basket or bouquet. So I think when I look at it, I just love it. Even to the point when the flowers are dying, right? My dad will put it
mm.
next to the dustbin. I actually will go and look at the flowers, and this is gonna sound a bit silly, but
Oh.
I actually like the whole process of it, uh, from it blooming to it wilting. I just feel like
Mm,
it's again like so much like life. Like it's like
mm,
it's like a whole cycle, and
mm,
I appreciate the beauty of that lah. Like
mm,
that's it, that they are so beautiful that we appreciate it when it's alive, but then as it wilts, there's also like somehow like a yeah, beauty to it also. So
mm,
I've always liked like flowers. I like how they are so like natural. They
mm,
really, they are so
mm,
effortless, like they don't need to do anything so they look so pretty.
mm,
um
mm,
so that's really like how I actually came to yeah, I really, so from then I kind of already have this thought at the back of my mind that one day it'd be quite nice if I'm a florist. But of course, like that wasn't a when we go through the education
mm.
system and all that,
Yeah,
when I
yeah.
tell my father I want to be a florist. And so but then I still held on to it. So like during
Mm,
SPM, like holiday time or what,
right.
like
Mm, mm,
I will work part-time at the florist. And
mm,
also when I was working in Singapore, I also work part-time as a florist. So any chance that I can have
mm,
my hands on with flowers, I would take it. So I knew that it was like always at the back of my mind that I want to try doing this as a full-time
mm,
business
mm,
owner. Yeah. So
mm.
um
So how did the
yeah.
what was the like the realization point in your life when you realized that okay, I want to stop nursing and I want to go into like was there like a pivotal moment? The reason why what was the reason behind why you decided
Mm,
to leave Singapore altogether, leave the career that you've built to come back to Malaysia and really like start all over again?
yeah. Uh it was definitely not like an overnight decision.
Mm-mm.
Actually, it was quite in like years in the making kind, because when I was
Mm,
working as a nurse in Singapore, then I was like mentioned I worked part-time as a florist, but I
mm,
didn't feel, because I only work part-time like maybe like once or twice a week as a florist in Singapore. So I didn't feel like like it's like you're like half a foot in, but
mm,
you're kind of
mm,
not really getting fully into it.
mm,
So
mm.
then I actually quit nursing in Singapore. I
Oh, okay,
quit my
okay,
nursing
okay.
job in Singapore to join a florist full time.
Mm, mm,
So I
mm.
worked for a florist full time, and that really, I think that was that moment where I realized that I do want to do this, but I wanted it to be uh my own lah. Yeah.
Mm,
So
mm, mm, mm.
when I was working with the florist full time, uh I learned a lot. I picked up a lot more skills, but then uh, the reality is that starting or growing a business in Singapore is a bit more challenging financially wise. So I decided to come back and start my floral business here in Malaysia lah, where it's home also. So yeah. So it was that moment, I think, that switch from nursing to full-time floristry, and then realizing that I wanted I want to do it on my own. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so this time they talked about how how do you tell your dad that you want to be a florist growing up? How did your parents initially react when you said okay, I want to quit whatever I've studied so hard for and I'm gonna go and do what I'm passionate about? Did they react was there a big reaction, or was it okay, just go and do whatever you want?
So again, it was I told my dad, actually this, just to be very honest, I told my dad very long ago already. I think when the moment I graduated with the nursing degree, I already told him I want to be a florist sometime in the future. So he said, okay, so you go and be a nurse first. I give yourself about 5 years of nursing, then you come and talk again. So I did that. I worked as a nurse for 5 years, and then I still had that feeling that I still want to be a florist. So I said, hey, okay, 5 years already, so now I can be a florist. And then and then also because I guess he could see that because I was also working part-time as a florist. I think it wasn't no, I just want to do this for fun, then I told him that I really want to pursue floristry full-time, so I'm going to work for a florist full-time first. So it wasn't okay, I want to start my own business now. So I said I'm going to work for a florist full-time, and that was in Singapore. So the way he took it, I think they were actually very supportive. In a sense, I think because they could see that I really wanted to pursue this,
Right.
and so my dad was like, okay, it's up to you. He actually said, you do your own math, because you are in Singapore and we are here. So as long as you can survive, then okay lah. So I said, okay lah, have to just bite the bullet and do it lah. So I did that. And then when I decided to come back, also I spoke to my dad about it. And that was a bit more of a serious talk, because it was already talking about in a way, returning home and leaving Singapore. So we spoke about it okay, let's be practical and realistic. Are you giving yourself a timeline? What's your plan like? Do you have what have you done so far? What's your business plan like? And things like that. And I think after having that few things ticked off, and then I think he supported the idea of me trying this business, also because I think he knows that I really want to do this, not just suddenly randomly thought about it. Yeah. So yes. Yeah.
Interesting. So initially, when you wanted to start a business, did you go and find a business partner, or what was the process of how you really start setting up your business? Bring us through the process.
Okay. So first thing, I knew that I wanted to be based back home. So that's one. And second thing, I knew that it was going to be online based, an online based business. So I didn't, because I didn't have or I don't have the funds to have a physical shop right away. So first thing is I built a website. That was the very first thing I did. Okay, besides the coming up with the name and the concept of my brand and what am I going to sell, my whole team and all that. Yeah, so then the second thing is I did the website, and then from there actually I I kind of just went a bit with the flow, actually. I
Mm.
just like
Okay.
registered my business. I mean, I came back, then I registered, I did the whole, I mean, that's the paperwork stuff, like go to
Mm-mm.
SSM and register my business, and then set up everything else, Facebook page, which actually all this was done before I came back also, before I came back to KL, because all these are online
Ah.
stuff, so I could set up like my Instagram account, and all this was already up already. Um, and
Mm.
then so so I kind of just like came back, and then only I sat down and like, okay, now I have all these, like in a way
Mm.
it's my website is like my shop. So okay, now that
Mm.
I have this,
Mm.
then I just, now what, I just like kind of went with the flow in a way. uh, Tried
Okay.
to yeah,
Mm.
try to get people to know me.
Oh, okay. I'll like go and find possible customers to like come and subscribe.
Yes,
Okay, right.
yes, exactly.
So, because you were more familiar with, I would like, because you were in Singapore, right? To like when you were studying, like really being an apprentice in studying becoming a florist, like you came back, like, how did you, where did you source your flowers? And like in general, does all your flowers come from like Malaysia within, or was it like mostly like imported flowers?
Mm. So when I came back, yeah, it was also, oh yeah, so that was also part of the process also actually of setting up the
Mm,
business, because you need to know, you need to source
mm,
you,
mm,
and have suppliers, right? Yeah. So when I came back also, um, I literally just Googled wholesale florists in Malaysia.
mm.
And then I just like visited a couple of them, and
Mm,
uh, like acquainted with them, and told them that I'm a florist, I'm in the business, I'm
mm,
registered, and and get to know them a bit, get their details and stuff. Most of my florists, I mean, most of the wholesale flower markets here,
mm,
they also import uh, a
mm,
majority of their flowers also. So
mm,
they have flowers imported in from China, Kenya,
mm,
um,
mm,
Holland, Africa. So
mm.
yeah, so I would say that most of my flowers are actually imported, but even though I
Mm,
get it from a local supplier here,
right.
but they get it imported in. Yeah,
Mm,
yeah.
mm. So, like starting off your business, because like moving on to the next question is, I want to ask you like, what is the challenges that you found when you first started, and how did you overcome them? But I'm also like interested in like understanding how did you really got comfortable in really understanding the flowers, and also delving into like business. Did you have to like really go and study, like read all the, watch YouTube videos about like how to start my own business and stuff like that? Like, did you go through that process? Was it hard for you to learn about entrepreneurship and like flowers? Because there's so many flowers, right? Like, how do you take care of them? Did you really have to like spend time studying all that?
Yes. Yeah, no, I think I struggle quite a bit actually, especially at the start.
Mm,
I'm going to be transparent.
yeah.
I actually didn't think I was fit to be an entrepreneur, because I love
Mm,
flowers so much. It's my passion. But when it comes to business, I feel like it's another, it's not just like, oh, I'm so passionate about this, surely
mm,
I can make a business
mm,
out of it,
yeah.
and then I realized that, oh, there's like that's actually another whole thing that I have to really deal with. In terms of
Right.
like like learning the flowers and all that, uh it I'm still learning
Mm,
even now. But I think having the background of working with the florists and working part-time did help like build the foundation and skill sets in terms of like florals per se.
mm,
But in terms of the business side, yeah, I struggle with that part. I do need to, yeah, I do sometimes like have to either like look up like books or like, yeah, like you say, like YouTube, like, oh, how was this social media marketing thing? Because I'm not the most tech savvy person. So it's kind of like a bit of a green area. Like I'm not so familiar with that. So yeah, that process was, yeah. I have to say I'm still learning this whole business side of things.
Right. Can you share a bit like out of the 2 years that you've been starting your own business, like what was the like in the beginning, what was the biggest challenge you would say that you faced? The biggest challenge, the most
The
biggest challenge.
uh the biggest one for me, I think, is the marketing skills. Uh, because I felt like I have a lot of ideas, so I like the creative process. Like I mentioned, like I like creating something. I'm always like inspired by things, and I always feel like, oh yes, I can do something like crazy out of this and things like that. But um at the end of the day, if nobody knows and I'm not marketing
Right.
it well, then I won't be able to spread floral goodness around, So
Right,
I
right.
feel like the marketing part is still the most challenging for me. Yeah, I remember I don't know, I don't know whether this is old school, but I used to like print out flyers. Like I just use the PowerPoint and I print out flyers and I put in
Oh,
each of my housing, like the neighborhood, like all their post box.
wow. So much
And
effort
then
to go
out
and
of all of that I put in, I got one order that came in. But I'm
mm,
happy about it because I think that
mm,
as a a new like person who start
mm,
out their business, all these like small wins is like it's like a nugget of gold for the for a business. So don't be
mm,
discouraged. I mean, I was a bit discouraged now, but then I think when I look back, it's like, yeah,
mm,
shouldn't. But yeah. So yeah, I think the
mm,
marketing part, because yeah, I'm not good with
mm.
like, like the what targeting the ads and the,
All right, yeah.
so yeah, yeah, that's the part I'd say
Mm-mm.
I'm still learning.
Mm-mm. But now you like kind of get a grasp of how to navigate the marketing part, right? Like at this point, you've
Yes,
already.
yes, yes. Yeah, it's a
Mm,
so for me it's like, I don't know if other entrepreneurs, maybe they are more well prepped, definitely, I think. But for me, I was kind of like went with the flow. So I kind of like,
mm,
oh, this is a new thing. Okay, I should learn and then practice it as I go along. Yeah,
mm,
rather versus like maybe some people who started their own business, they've already been equipped with all this, then they're like, okay,
mm,
one
mm,
shot, just like put it all out there.
mm,
Yeah. Mm.
mm. Right. So can you share a little bit about like your challenges that you face in MCO? Did you face a lot of challenges because like with the because you're an online florist, right? Was it easier
Mm.
for you or did you face the same challenges as everybody?
Mm. Well, at the start of MCO, it
Mm.
was actually the most challenging because all of my suppliers closed. So
Oh, okay.
because they weren't getting flowers coming in from, I mean, because that time the borders all put, I mean, there was no
Right, right.
import
Mm.
stuff and all. So I could not get my hands on any flowers. So
Mm.
I was really not, I couldn't do anything about it
Mm,
also.
mm, mm,
So that was the most challenging period. But when the MCO kind of loosened up, then
mm.
that made it easier because at least they could get flowers from Cameron Highlands, if
Mm,
not
mm,
like
mm,
China. So that made it a bit easier. But besides that, also actually I did have a few events. So I also do flowers for events also. And I
mm,
do collaborate with I do collaborate with bakers and other vendors that sometimes they also have flowers as part of their package. So I also do set
mm,
up for events. So I did have a few like events lined up and also weddings. So
mm,
I also do like small to medium scale florals for weddings. And but they were cancelled, of course, because of the
mm,
MCO.
mm,
So that just kind of like put put things on hold because I was also trying to let people know, or rather like that I also cater to events. Yeah. So I
Right.
think that's the challenging bit about,
Mm.
how MCO was affecting.
Mm. Right. Okay. Do you think, because like with all this that's going on, right? Would you encourage young people to start their own businesses? And like why would you encourage young people to start?
Um, I would say uh, I don't think that's I would say yes. Yes, firstly, in short, yes, I would
Mm.
encourage young people to start their own business if it's something that they are passionate about, definitely. And
Mm.
if they have this like strong nudge within them to like it's like nudging them to start something, and because they really
Mm.
believe, or rather they are so passionate about that thing.
Mm.
But I would say that to not like jump into it
Mm.
so
Mm.
quickly. I think that's just my take on it, because I feel
Mm.
like it's not going to be like smooth sailing, or
Mm.
so I
Mm.
think it's good to maybe like take take steps towards it.
Mm.
um and then when you feel, and I'm sure when they will feel it, like when they are really ready, then they will just take the plunge and do it.
Mm.
I
Okay.
think there will be that moment. Yeah.
Right.
So
So be
yes.
ready, prepare yourself before you actually delve into this world of
Yeah,
like
but
digital
I mean, we can
entrepreneurship.
never be 100% prepared lah. I mean,
Yeah.
I thought I would. I mean, I'm not. I'm also not. I'm still like learning.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much. That's all the questions from me. But
Thank you.
the audience has already sent us a few questions, so I'll just run it through you, yeah? So
Okay,
one of the
sure.
questions from Kevin is that what are the top three skill sets that you feel are the most essential to master and are required in business?
Ah, I think one is perseverance.
Mm,
Meaning, I think it's very important to not be discouraged uh, by like the mini setbacks that you face along the way, but
mm,
but to persevere through, because um, you need a lot of time actually, so you need to just hang on to it as long as you really believe that this business is something that you really want to grow, then you just have to
mm,
persevere through. And with that is like patience is also another, is another, I think it's a skill set, right? Yeah, but I mean, patience is
mm,
you have to grow patience. um but I guess okay lah, if it's, yeah, but yeah, but I think no, but having said that, yeah, I still think patience is very important. And
mm,
also to to be fearless in a way.
mm,
To not be afraid to learn new things,
mm,
and to not be afraid to be turned down, to not be
mm,
afraid to ask. So to just like go for it kind of feeling,
mm,
and I mean, or at least I feel like that helped me lah, because
mm,
I'm quite like uh I'm quite I'm quite thick skin now. So I'm not really afraid of, like, I would just like go up to someone and ask them, hey, you want to buy flowers? I mean, because you never know.
mm,
So just
right.
to put yourself out there, I think
Mm,
that's, yeah. Whereas like if all the like other skills, like if you want to learn about marketing, or if you want to learn about like how to, yeah, how to learn about digital stuff and all that, then I think
mm,
that one will come, because you have all these like uh
mm.
inbuilt, like
Yeah.
characteristics.
Mm. Right. Thank you for sharing about that. Okay, the next question, Lati asks, do you see yourself doing this in the long term?
That's a great question. um, I did give myself a timeline,
Mm,
uh, but I think so. I think it's a question that I will visit when I hit the timeline. So for now, the short answer is yes. But I think when I reach that timeline where I have like set certain goals to work towards,
mm, mm,
and then I will evaluate, and then I would see whether
mm,
is it still something that I want to pursue in long term. I mean, of course,
mm,
floristry is something that I will always be passionate about. Yeah.
right.
So it's just like the business wise
Mm,
and working towards that. Yeah.
right.
Mm.
Okay, you have heard it, guys. She has answered your question, and thank you so much for sharing, Shamay. I had a
Thank
great time
you.
listening to your story. So, guys, that was Shamay from May and December sharing about her experience at Tauke Talks, brought to you by RYSE and supported by Citi Foundation. So what really motivated Shamay was really her passion in flowers and how she always wanted to achieve her dream in becoming a florist. So like I hope you guys all feel inspired and take back her little nugget of wisdom about persevering, being patient, and also being fearless and sharing what she called, you know, the flowery goodness out to the world. So like thank you so much, Shamay, for really, really sharing your experience with us. So if your goal is to start a business or to learn more about business building, follow our RYSE Facebook page. And also we are now having our online course, RYSE Online. It's our latest entrepreneurship training program that helps you and give you like a small breakdown on what to expect in entrepreneurship and how do you start your own business. And throughout this course, you can also stand a chance to win seed funding up to 10,000 ringgit. So if you're interested in the program, please do register. Um, Follow like bit.ly/RYSE Online, or you can find out more information about our RYSE Online program through RYSE Facebook page, RYSE Instagram, LinkedIn, or even our YouTube page. So, and don't forget also to sign up for our next Talkie Talk session, which is with from Diana from Nonya Kain. So she specialized in creating more of like button print inspired um, um, products. So if you're interested about how she started her business and like why was her inspiration behind the business, please do register for her Talkie Talk session. All the information can be found through our social media. So thank you so much, Samir, for sharing.
Thank you for
And thank
having
you.
me.
We wish you all the best for your future endeavors and also in your business. And thank you so much. So you guys are interested to in ordering flower arrangement, please do check out May in December. And we'll see you all in our next Pocket Talk session. Thank you. Okay,
Thank
bye
you,
bye.
everyone. Bye.